go. Kewell back on the left-hand side of the Leeds attack, where he prefers to be. He played on the right in the previous game against Bolton. With Wilcox down the left. Wilcox, one of the substitutes today. Stewart is challenged, and the first free kick goes Charlton's way. And the captain will take it himself. Just waiting for the giant central defender, Mark Fish, to make his way forward. Steve Brown, the other centre-half, very useful in the air, alongside him. Bartlett, a possible target as well. Well, it almost reached Mark Fish, who certainly lost his marker.
That was a very bright free kick. Konchesky's left foot, just look at the movement though in the box, and Fish is the one that peels away to the far post. Has no one round him. Unfortunately, delivery is not quite accurate enough, but early signs from Charlton. They'll want to set about Leeds very quickly.
And the interception by Konchesky, who can hit the ball from range if he chooses to. He went for the centre instead. And Leeds close to conceding a corner. What a good start by Charlton, straight at it. Powell's cross was good. Batty has to knock it behind, and Charlton keep the early pressure on.
Well, I know it's only a minute 20, Alan, but this is the sort of tempo Alan Kirbyshire would have wanted from his team. That was very nearly end up at the feet of Jason Ewell, that ball in from Paul Konchesky.
Same potential targets here. Ewell, another one. It comes out to young Parker. The England under-21 beaten though by Dacour. There could be a break on here for Leeds. What a start to this game. Keane looks up to see who's in support. Viduka is, and now Leeds go from a corner at their end to a corner at the other.
Well, led by example from their skipper, Rio Ferdinand, first to the ball on the edge of the box. Has a couple of options. He can go left, he can go right, and Robbie Keane, he's looking up all the time. I think he realises that he's going to give some time to Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka to join him.
Ian Hart, the set-piece specialist, with the kick. Ferdinand making a run towards that near post area, but Charlton successfully defend at the expense of another corner.
Well, Ian Hart has an excellent delivery from either free kick or corner, and that ball is played into the danger area. Charlton are really going to have to be very focused here to deal with this.
Viduka near the penalty spot. Mills in behind him, a lot of movement there, but once again Charlton get it clear, and this time it came off Kewell as Stewart made the interception. Goal kick.
That's a very bright start, very lively start from either side. Leeds having an opportunity to counter-attack, put under incredible pressure in that opening 1.5 minutes of very good play from Charlton Athletic. And David O'Leary, well, he looks a bit grim at the moment, but he's seen his side unbeaten so far this season, but really yet to click into any sort of rhythm that they showed, certainly from Christmas onwards.
Robinson, the Welsh international, looking for Ewell. In turn, tried to pick out Bartlett. The interception by Ferdinand means that we've got another corner, 3 in the opening 3 minutes or so.
Well, you and I watched the game. It took an awful long time to get a corner at Goodison Park. As Lowe was such a good game already. We've seen a few from Charlton, a couple from Leeds.
Gone along the ground to Konchesky. The referee was in his way. He couldn't get the shot in that he wanted.
He's just apologised to the referee. He realised he perhaps stopped a promising move for Charlton, but what a very good start to this game.
Hart. It's broken here to Viduka. He's got Keane ahead of him. And Boya in close contact. Kewell's there again. Viduka. Cross by Kewell, knocked behind. It's another corner, 4 in 4 minutes.
Certainly end-to-end stuff. Let's hope that the rest of the game's like this.
Got a good record against Charlton. Leeds United have won 6 of the last 9 meetings, unbeaten in the last 4, and it's usually a high-scoring fixture, this. Well, Ferdinand was the problem for Charlton there. That's why Bartlett had to knock behind. Well, anyone who's had a bet on corners will be wondering whether to lay it off at this moment. 5 in 5 minutes. Well, it looked initially as though it had gone too deep, but Charlton clearly weren't expecting Keane on the far side to get into that position.
Well, the marking hasn't been great either end. We've seen one that Fish very nearly got on the edge of, and that's poor marking from Charlton. Robbie Keane, very elusive character in and around the box. Talked about it earlier, Al. He'll be looking for his first goal of the season.
Boos for Danny Mills, who was the subject of a lot of abuse here last season when he got involved in a scrap with Scott Parker. They gave Lee Bowyer, the other former Charlton man, a rather better reception. Danny Mills, who left here 3 seasons ago, having made over 50 appearances. Ferdinand's challenge on Bartlett. Leeds have beaten Southampton at home, Arsenal away, drew 0-0 against West Ham and Bolton. Just 4 goals in their 4 league games, but they've only conceded 1. Stewart spreads the play again. And Luke Young beaten to it. Brown intercepts. Parker. Matteo across to clear from Robinson. Stewart. Looked a bit tight initially, but Robinson has found a way through, and that came off the Leeds player, Olivier Dacour.
And Jason Yule's just given Leeds a problem at the moment, Al. He's just dropping a little bit deeper. He's not playing right up there, so of course Matteo and Ferdinand have got an important job to do.
Brown has come forward, he's the target for the throw. Viduka marked him well. Hart's clearance, not the best, it's gone straight to Stewart. Fish. Brown's header. And still Charlton looking threatening with Parker.
Oh, he's unlucky. Brings a lot of creativity to that midfield area. Scott Parker, but Charlton starting well, but they need to be careful.
Well, Fish had to be strong then against Keane. Matteo's clearance. Gets it back from Ian Hart. And sensibly feeds it to Nigel Martin. The Blues will tell you once again it's Danny Mills in possession. Foul on Kuehl. Mills in too much of a hurry to take it and place the ball about 10 yards further forward than he should have done.
He almost seems to relish the fact that he plays the villain rather than the peacekeeper, Danny Mills.
Batty finds Viduka. Batty again. 2 on the far post. Played every game so far, David Batty, after all his serious injury problems which kept him out for around about a year. And the giant South African defender Mark Fish gets it clear again. Mills picking out Bowyer. Mills doing well, and he got his legs taken by Konchesky.
Well, this is what I was talking about, these wide areas. This is where Charlton need to be very resilient. And Konchesky, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why he's in the side today, just to try and support and help Chris Powell on this right-hand side as far as Leeds are concerned, because we know Mills likes to get forward, joined by Bowyer as well.
Big aerial threat Leeds pose for sure. Ferdinand, Matteo, Viduka, and with Hart's normally very accurate delivery, Charlton have got to really be on their toes here. Viduka far post. Oh, that was a great save by Dean Kiley.
Well, that was an excellent punch, it really was. Had to be very watchful because once again that delivery into the box, full of quality from Hart.
That's the other thing with Ian Hart. You might be thinking he's going to load it up to the big men, but he can also hit the ball from all kinds of ranges and angles. Hit the target, I should say. Kill. Batty. Onside here. And again, Dean Kiley. Good save hands.
Well, this is a save from Kiley, and this is how watchful he had to be, because it's not easy when somebody of the size of Mark Viduka's breathing down your neck. He dealt with it very competently.
by Bartlett to deny Ferdinand in the air. Not too many do that. Batty, foul by Stewart. Charlton finished on 52 points last season, winning 14 of their 38 league games. Their second successive season in the Premiership, of course, after being relegated the previous time after just one campaign. Here's Viduka and now Batty for Leeds. D'accord. Oh, you wanted it short. Dacour's got other ideas. Hart's effort. That was flying, it really was.
Well, you can see why he got into double figures, and well, my Dean Kiley smile. He really did let rip from 20 yards or so, and that wasn't far away, was it? The goalkeeper there would have had no chance, I think, if that had been on target. Just the ferocity of the shot.
He got a career best 11 goals last season, Ian Hart, and all but one of them were from either penalties or free kicks. Ferdinand winning the battle with Bartlett this time. Konchesky looking to feed Ewell. Goal kick though.
Well, it's a very open game. I just wondered whether that will suit Charlton. I'm sure Alan Kirbishley will be delighted with the way they've started, but also he's seeing at the other end Leeds United trouble his side. We heard him beforehand. He knows Leeds are full of quality. He's without 5, 6 arguably of sides that would have started in this team, but David will be happy with the chance they've created. Perhaps could do with a little bit more composure in midfield, get the ball down and play.
Excellent work by Robinson. Matteo got there ahead of Bartlett. Leeds 4th last season with 68 points and missed out on 3rd place and returning to the Champions League by just 1 point from Liverpool. Gone into the UEFA Cup, of course, and play their postponed game against Maritimo in Madeira on Thursday of this coming week. Robinson wins another throw for the home team. Pull back for Stewart. Poor ball in, easily intercepted by Batty. The Duca's flick on. Now Fish for Charlton. Excellent play by the home team. Really flowing football. Chris Powell joining in. He's providing an overlap for Konchesky, who's on the ball now. Got it on his weaker right foot, though.
That was actually good play from Danny Mills. He knew where he wanted to send Paul Konchesky, and that was inside. He knew that he wouldn't fancy that on his right foot.
Viduka gets the free kick, fouled by Steve Brown. Leeds showed some terrific form in the second half of last season, of course. They won 13 of their final 19 games, drew 4 and lost only 2. And Keane threatening Charlton here. Wins the corner.
Oh, very clever play, wasn't it, from Robbie Keane? This is where he's at his best, getting the ball into feet.
And the big guns make their way forward again. 21 Matteo, 29 Ferdinand. Difficult for Kiley. The sun right in his eyes, and that ball seemed to take an age to come down. The Republic internationals made a good start to this game, Dean Kiley, but the kick he won't be too happy with.
Commentator's curse again. Strikes.
Mills. Keane. Kewell in space on the left. Went for goal!
Well, I don't think Harry Kewell's too happy with Robbie Keane, but you could understand once that opened up for Keane. Did this very well, turned. This is what I talked about moments earlier. He's bright, he loves the ball into his feet. Kewell perhaps would have been a better option, but he decided to go for goal himself.
Still waiting for his first goal of the new season, Robbie Keane. becoming a bit of a problem for both Bartlett and Ewell, so much so that the referee's given the free kick against him. Stewart will take it for Charlton. Short for Konchesky. Chris Powell. Stewart available again. Interesting ball in. Ewell knocked it down for Parker. What an important tackle that was by Kuehl. I just think he did enough there.
Well, it was an excellent build-up, wasn't it, from Charlton? Very neat, very precise. It's an excellent little layoff, and there you can see Scott Parker just trying to spin, and Harry Kuehl really had to be alert to the danger. It's a stupid little ball in from Graham Stewart, and there you can see the defending from the Australian Kuehl.
Oh, great header by Fish, and what a save by Nigel Martyn.
What a magnificent save from Martyn. That was flying towards goal. Once again, great quality set piece, well met by Fish. He thinks that's in, and I think a lot of people in this ground thought that was in.
Another good ball to the near post. Parker wins the header, and Nigel Martyn in control again. What a throw as well to pick out Robbie Keane, who's so far forward there are no Leeds players in support. Bowyer's arriving rapidly though. All he could do was hold it up. He did the right thing, and he did it well.
Well, we've seen two sides of Nigel Martyn. One, what a great save from the header from Fish, and then a wonderful throw setting Robbie Keane on his way.
Ball spotted there. Charlton's free kick.
Well, we can have a look at this again and show how you appreciate just the pace at which this header came in at Nigel Martyn. Some people may argue it was there, it was in front of him, it was there to be saved, but the reaction really was top draw.
He's just passed the 700 appearances mark in his career, Nigel Martyn. What a total. And most of them, of course, at the top level. Well, we've had everything but a goal here in what has been a really entertaining start to this Barclaycard Premiership fixture. Kuehl. Great run by Kuehl. Stewart got back to deny him. Chris Powell was lying injured during that attack, and that is why Stewart is so angry. He felt that because it's a head injury, Kuehl should have knocked the ball out of play.
Well, the interesting thing here, Alan, is that Mark Halsey, the referee, had a good look at it, and he decided then to really allow play to go on. He was very close to this, and the Charlton players were furious with Kuehl. They felt he should have knocked the ball out of play, but I'm not sure whether Kuehl felt, like the referee, how serious that challenge was by Viduka.
Well, in all fairness to Harry Kuehl, I'm not even sure he realised that Powell was in trouble there, and when your instinct is to keep going and you see the whites of the goal post, well, not many players I think would have stopped in that situation.
That's very difficult for yourself to stop when you're bearing down on goal, and I think you've seen that time and time again when the ball goes into Viduka. He's really such an established figure, very difficult to shrug off the ball. Powell tried.
Yet another corner. Dropping them all short at the moment, Leeds. Good tackle by Dakor. Stewart. Good vision. Luke Young feeds it short to Ewell. Now Parker. Stewart. Konchesky's gone on the overlap. Stewart's still available, and that's a good ball for Ewell. Very good header by Rio Ferdinand.
Well, once again, it's that ball from Stewart. He's come inside central field and just looking to dink little balls into the danger area. It's got a great flow to this football match, Alan, hasn't it? You know, either end really chances that we've seen, lots of corners, free kicks, excellent open play.
Keane, goal. You only make one mistake with this fella around, and Charlton made it, and Keane punishes them for his first goal of the season to give Leeds United the lead on 20 minutes.
Well, once this ball came forward from Leeds, the problem that Mark Fish has, he lets the ball run across his body. He thought there was a little bit more on it than there actually was. Perhaps he thought Dean Kiley was a little bit further advanced. The ball played in from Hart. There you can see Fish allows it to run across his body. Keane's bright, he's alert, and he doesn't give you another chance. And once he had that opportunity, he showed wonderful composure.
And a pretty spectacular celebration to match from Robbie Keane, the Irishman. A £12 million signing from Inter Milan is off the mark. He got 9 goals last season. Great start for Leeds, who won 7 of their last 10 away matches last season. In fact, away from home, only Manchester United scored, or Manchester United and Liverpool, in fact, scored more goals on the road than Leeds, who are in the clear again here with Kewell. Viduka well placed, could have made it 2. And Fish, whose initial mistake had led to Keane's goal, with the interception this time.
Well, the problem is Robbie Keane's offside, and that's what the Charlton back four are looking for. But Harry Kewell wasn't. He very nearly set up his countryman Mark Viduka, but excellent defending from Fish.
Well, it's a game that's been promising a goal, really, almost from the first minute. And now Leeds have that goal. Foul by Viduka on Brown. And it goes towards Bartlett. Ferdinand equal to it again. Fish to Konchesky. Just waiting for Chris Powell to get down the line. Powell's cross was good. Stewart lays it on for Parker.
Well, I think Leeds are paying the price. Actually thought it would be the other way around. I thought that Leeds would trouble Charlton in wide areas. It's actually been the other way around. The fullbacks have got forward well. In particular, Powell is linked up well with Konchesky. It's a half chance in the box for Scotty Parker.
Well, it's been an outstanding weekend of action in the Premiership. Some wonderful games yesterday, and this is going to be right up there with the best of them by the looks of things. In fact, the season has started really well, and Manchester United won't appreciate it, but the fact that they have lost and failed to win a couple of games has made things more open and more exciting.
Well, Charlton are just going to have a lot of belief in their play. They have started well. They're a little bit unfortunate, find themselves a goal down.
Opportunity from this free kick to draw level. Stewart will take it. The referee wasn't happy, so they can try again.
Well, Leeds are going to have to be careful. Some excellent movement by Charlton in the box. From corners, we've seen it already. Fish very nearly got in. And once again, some of the movement, Fish, Brown.
Delivered too long, although it had to be headed behind by Ferdinand. He obviously got the touch the wrong side of the goal line from Leeds' point of view. It's a corner. And again, Martin gets it clear. Mills kicking it away. He was a little bit lucky there to find Keane. Charlton are really setting about Leeds. They won't let them settle. Stewart tries a long-range effort. Nigel Martin always in control though, and a great early throw again by the Leeds keeper. Sets Mills going forward with plenty of space ahead of him. Kewell. Stewart's tackle, he seems to be everywhere at the moment, the Charlton skipper.
Well, he's leading by example, and I'm sure his teammates will get a great lift from his attitude that he seems to be adopting at the moment, Graham Stewart.
Ian Hart. That's a good ball. Keane's flick on, not quite so accurate. Luke Young, the former Tottenham defender. Ewell. Here's Rio Ferdinand. Leeds 1-0 ahead in the final 20 minutes of the half. Mills for that. Leeds can go top if they win this match today. Powell. Konchesky, the 20-year-old, is normally a left back rather than a left midfield player, but they have got a lot of injuries, Charlton. So too have Leeds, in fairness, but their squad bigger to begin with, of course. Over Boya's head. Viduka. And Fish with the header on. There was a foul then by Viduka on Parker.
Well, he's not happy because he's had a couple of decisions go the wrong way as far as Viduka's concerned, but you can see it's his left arm that the referee felt was high.
Chris Powell. Interception by Ferdinand. Powell again, does better this time. Konchesky. Jason Newell rides the tackles. Powell. Looking for Robinson, came off Matteo, and Nigel Martin prevents the corner. A long way from goal, he had to get that kick right. Steve Brown. Well, Robinson couldn't make any attempt to control that ball because he would have been offside.
I think Alan Gerbishley and Mervyn Day will be reasonably happy with the way their side have played here. I think that they've built up very well, especially in wide areas. Just a little bit short from a striking point of view at the moment. But clearly, key players missing with injury.
Parker. Robinson to his right in lots of space. Probably made the wrong selection, really, but I can see a lot more clearly than he can from up here. Here's Robbie Keane. Good tackle, but it's broken to Viduka. Back to Keane. The referee's had a look at the challenge, and I think it's Keane who he's going to punish with a card.
Well, to be fair to the referee, whether he's right or wrong, he had an excellent view. He really did. Robbie Keane professing his innocence, but this is the ball, this is the incident. And there you can see the little flick away from the goalkeeper. There doesn't look really any contact there. If anything, it was very minimal. Robbie Keane felt there was, but the referee had a superb view of it.
Well, they're always nightmarish situation for referees to judge, of course, because they're invariably some yards behind the incident. Those kind of diving tackles by goalkeepers always look worse than sometimes they are. So Robbie Keane scored a goal and been cautioned already. Konchesky. Powell. On to Ewell. Oh, he did really well to find Parker. He didn't do quite so well.
Well, there's two occasions, Scott Parker on the edge of the box and John Robinson screaming at him. But, well, the Robbie Keane incident, a lot of people will be talking about this time and time again. It is a nightmare to give. I think Kylie knew perhaps he wasn't going to make contact with the ball. He's almost trying to then pull his hand away. I just wonder whether it's leg that's caught him. And that may well have caused Robbie Keane to go to ground.
Well, we had the Robbie Savage incident at Derby yesterday, of course, and who'd be a referee in those situations? Kewell's layup. D'accord. Foul by Luke Young, and the referee's going to step in again here.
Oh, just a couple of incidents, wasn't it? And the referee just trying to calm everybody down. There was the initial one on D'accord, then there was another one just after that. And that where Decor was caught, and there's the second challenge really on Kuehl.
It's going to be a card for the England under-21 international, Luke Young, who went off injured against Port Vale in the Worthington Cup in midweek, and Alan Kirbishley wasn't sure whether he was going to be fit for today. Second player cautioned in as many minutes.
Just quite interesting actually, Robbie Keane and Dean Kiley, two Republic of Ireland teammates, just laughing about the incident now. It was a very close call for the referee to give. He favoured the home side, much to the relief of Alan Kirbishley, no doubt.
In those situations, and as much a dilemma really for the goalkeeper as the referee. He's got to go out there, and invariably if you make that kind of contact, you're going to bring the opposing player down. Mills lifts it on to Keane, and still Keane. Incredible. He almost squeezed it in from an impossible angle. Viduka still a threat here, not now because he's given away the free kick. How did Keane get that anywhere near target?
He's so sharp at the moment. There's a lot of pressure on him as far as his place is concerned. Alan Smith coming back to fitness, very nearly scoring not only the first occasion but the second one, squeezing it between defender and post. And there you can see some anxious looking defenders there, just delighted to see it hit the post.
Here's Powell. Miscontrol by Bartlett. Keane's layoff was good, but the return ball by Batty wasn't.
He was actually held back by Mark Fish. And whether you like it or not, it was potentially good defending for Fish because there's a lot of space for Keane to go into.
Young. Linesman's signal to the referee that he felt that was a foul challenge on Luke Young.
I think, to be fair, the referee's assistant, I think he felt that Luke Young was running out a bit of space to go into, otherwise he may well have played the advantage, but no doubt Konchesky with his left foot will be looking to bend this ball in around about the penalty spot. And we've seen how good Charlton have been so far on set pieces. They haven't got a goal from it, but they have looked a threat.
Straight back out to Young. Clearance by Matteo. Konchesky still there from the earlier free kick. Robinson up against Hart. Goal kick.
Well, it's been a very open game, and I think it's been a very entertaining game, and Leeds United there 60% of the possession against Charlton's 40%, but Charlton have played reasonably well, just perhaps lacking that cutting edge that clearly Leeds possess. And David just looking at his watch at the moment.
Nigel Martin's kick goes straight out of play. Charlton are happy to accept that unexpected gift. Parker for them. Good play by Bartlett. Robinson's cross. And away by Rio Ferdinand. Of loyal support here, even though they're a goal down. Still very much in this game, though.
Well, they are once again another set piece. Leeds are going to have to be very careful not to give too many of these away.
Konchesky will take it again. Got it a little too close to David Batty.
That's a great show. The last two he hasn't delivered with the quality that he did earlier in this first half.
Ewell. D'accord somehow keeping it in play, and have a little ball for Hart. Charlton with a whole list of players out injured at the moment. Rufus, Kishishev, both long-term injuries those. Pringles, Svensson, Youds, Peacock, who's come here on loan and got injured almost straight away. But Leeds also without the likes of Bridges, Dewberry, Radaby getting fit again. Smith still out injured, so is Bakker. Foul by Parker on Batty. 10 minutes of the half remaining. Here is Batty. Bowyer. Surprisingly quiet for him so far, and that's a ball he'll be a bit embarrassed about. Our next match on this pay-per-view channel from the Barclaycard Premiership will be next Sunday, when we see Leeds United in action again at home to Derby County. That kicks off at 2. Stewart going in hard, and the referee didn't like that challenge and immediately steps in to separate the players concerned.
Well, I think once you go into challenges like this, there's only going to be one outcome. It really was a very dangerous challenge indeed from Graham Stewart. Not really renowned, but that's two-footed.
And the referee instantly went for red.
Well, with a player of his experience, you'd think he'd know. And I think he can have no complaints. But what a huge blow to Charlton. Find themselves 1-0 down, and he really was influential as far as the home side were concerned. And well, something may or may not have gone on beforehand, not quite sure, but there's really a necessary challenge to make. It really is. And there you can see right across the ankle of Ian Hart.
And that's the very last thing Charlton needed, both in the game and in the context of the season. With so many players out injured, they're now going to lose Graham Stewart for 3 matches, presumably.
Interesting to see how they're reorganised now. Perhaps just one up front. Bartlett, Ewell will probably drop into midfield.
A long journey back to the dressing rooms when you get sent off here at the Valley at that end of the ground, because the dressing room tunnel is at the opposite end. He didn't have to run the gauntlet to the Leeds fans, at least, but he might have to have 1 or 2 words in the ear from his manager, I think, when he sees that action replay that we saw. One down to Leeds, down to 10 men. Problems continue to mount for Charlton.
Well, I think at this stage now, down to 10 men, and also 1-0 down, they'll be hoping really just to try and consolidate till half-time, and no doubt Alan Curbishley, Mervyn Day will have to sort 1 or 2 things out during the interval.
Dacour. Mills. Bowyer. The ball for Batty. And on to Hart. The Duca back to Batty. Dacour. Charlton with 9 of the 10 men back behind the ball now. Olivier Dacour working hard. Mateo, Bowyer, good football from Leeds. Parker's challenge. The Duca goes in. The referee waves play on. And almost as though to make a point following that earlier incident, Charlton immediately knocked the ball out of play when they realised that Bowyer and indeed the Duca are down injured.
Like a believable thing, didn't he, Scott Parker? Realised that Lee Bowyer was down injured. It was actually Scott Parker that did challenge him. He came in from the side, was a clean challenge, got a bit of the ball, but there you can see right in the rib area of Lee Bowyer. Hasn't been the happiest of starts, hasn't been as influential as he probably would have wanted to be in this game, but he really is a threat. It's quite interesting when Leeds do play at times, they like to tuck both Kewell and Bowyer into at times a more central area. And that's where he was picking the ball up and looking to drive at the heart of the Charlton back 4.
Began his career here, comes not very far from the valley as well, Lee Bowyer. Made 50-odd appearances before he moved to Leeds some 5 years ago now. Well, that'll hurt. Will have winded him, and just anxious that there isn't any damage to the ribs as well. And Leeds duly return the ball to Dean Kiley. Bartlett with a terrific header down. Robinson feeds it to Konchesky. Great cross in! Ewell's header still kept in play by Bartlett. Here's Young. Robinson. Great defending. In fact, he stayed calm. Perhaps a little too calm, but no, he knew what he was doing. Here's Bowyer. Mills. Viduka. Jason Ewell. In steps Matteo to win it back. And on goes Kuehl. What a run! What a run! Still going! Well, he must be a frightening sight for defenders. Harry Kuehl in full flight.
Very difficult to deal with, and once again coming off the left-hand side, cutting inside, just seems to drift past defenders at ease, doesn't he? And Chrissy Powell actually is very fortunate because he decided to slide in at the end of this run. This is Kuehl at his best. This is what he loves to do, and there you can see the challenge from Powell. Very fortunate.
As if things aren't bad enough at the moment for Charlton. Robinson, well, you could see the way he reacted there when the physio touched the injured spot.
It's right on the top of his foot as well, and anybody that has had that injury, I tell you, it's very painful.
Problems mounting for Charlton. And incidentally, going back to the Graham Stewart sending off, Alan Kirbishley's team already face a problem with the FA. They had 6 players cautioned in their only win of the season against Ipswich at Portman Road, and that means theoretically a heavy fine from the FA as Bowyer unleashes a shot.
Well, these are difficult times for Alan Kirbishley. Sees his side 1-0 down. Hasn't been the greatest of starts to this campaign. He's had lots of injury problems. Looks like there's another one for him to deal with. The shape of John Robinson, but very nearly half-time. He'll have to collect his thoughts.
Robinson's just been waved back on by referee Mark Halsey. Here's Jason Ewell. They need a goal from him now.
Well, he did very well indeed to fashion the effort himself. But really couldn't keep the composure he was looking for. Once again, Bartlett's been a tower of strength from an aerial point of view. Sidesteps Rio Ferdinand, but can't hit the target.
Charlton's record signing, he became $4 3/4 million when they bought him from Wimbledon in the summer. Top scorer for the Dons last season with 20 goals. But he's yet to score in the Premiership for his new club. Here he goes again. Pushed Ferdinand, got to be a free kick.
It's fairly blatant. Not a difficult decision for the referee or referee's assistant to give. There you can see. Maybe about as blatant as you're going to see in that area of the field.
Into the final minute of the half, though, there'll be a fair bit of stoppage time, I imagine. We've had a couple of injuries and a couple of yellows and 1 red card. By Viduka this time. Hit long for Konchesky. Little nudge by Mills. Well, made rather a mess of that throw in Charlton, but they've got it back. Here's clearance, however, finds Bowyer. They've got a break on here, Leeds. It's 4 against 3 at the moment in Leeds' favour. Harry Kuehl Tried to pick out Viduka, I think, near post, corner, the outcome.
Well, they've been excellent when they've been in that position, Leeds. The times when Charlton have attacked, they've really brought with a lot of spirit, a lot of pace, and this is very difficult. When you've got the likes of Kuehl and Bowyer and Keane and Viduka up there, it's very difficult to defend, but Charlton did it very well in the end.
Both the goalkeepers playing well. 4 minutes added time.
The football officials indicating 4 minutes of added time.
Yule, given away to Decor. Here's Batty. Oh, lovely little flip by Viduka to Keane. And back it goes, or should have done, to the big Australian. But Mark Fish made an interception. Bartlett. Franceschi. Powell on the overlap. Dispossessed by Batty. Here's Decor. Keane had to hesitate, making his run. He would have been offside, I think. And Charlton get a throw out of that. Parker. Foul on Robinson.
Well, I think to be fair to Charlton Athletic, Alan, they've shown a lot of spirit. They really have. Things haven't been easy for them in this first half, but they've got an opportunity to try and put Leeds under a bit of pressure. Close of this half.
Luke Young's free kick. In comes Bartlett. That's a goal kick.
That was excellent defending. Bartlett is a threat in the air. Rio Ferdinand just got his body across him.
Well, Charlton have a pretty miserable home record against Leeds. They've only beaten them twice in the last 18 meetings where Charlton have been the home team. The last time over 15 years ago. And they've given themselves an awful lot to do to reverse that trend today. One down, only 10 men on the pitch following the sending off of their captain, Graham Stewart. Clearance, and it's gone into Keane again. Fish had to make that tackle, that's for sure, and Batty had to make that one to stop Robinson, who nicks it back from Decor. And they're going to need all their remaining 10 players to work extra hard now, Charlton. Bartlett doing well. Ewell takes it on. Free kick. Could this be an opportunity for Charlton to get back on level terms before the break?
I don't think Rio Ferdinand's particularly happy, and there you can see perhaps minimal contact, but there was contact, and that's what's won Charlton a free kick. Franceschi, they'll fancy it with his left foot. Scotty Parker's there as well.
Nigel Martin desperately lining up the wall. 3-4 in it at the moment. And other players to block his eye line.
Well, I think they'll look to perhaps just nudge this to the side. Steve Brown's there as well. It looks as if he fancies this one. Chesky's now potentially could be on it with his left foot. An opportunity to go either right or left here.
Well, that's the sort of thing they'll have practiced 1,000 times on the training ground. Will they get it right on the day? Brown hits it. Great save.
Oh, what a strike that was. All of 20-25 yards, and Nigel Martin, we've seen him pull off 2 excellent saves in this first half.
The end of a very entertaining first half here at the Valley. Robbie Keane making sure that Leeds go in at half-time with a lead. Charlton have played well, but the loss of their captain Graham Stewart, red-carded by referee Halsey, has made things a lot more difficult for them in the second half. 1-0 to Leeds at half-time.